青や強がって飛び乗って風に流って青空昨日を越えろ
Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Talking Mons, our Digimon Adventure 2020 recap podcast. My name is JD, and I am joined by Jeanette and Gary.
Hello.
Hi.
And we are here to talk about episodes 43 and 44, Clash the King of Digimon and Hikari and the Moving Forest. I honestly gotta say, the first one is gotta be like hands down one of my favorite episodes for how stupid it is.
Yes, it's amazing.
It is just like top to down, just like fucking the best. And the second one we'll get to it. It's pretty good.
Mhm.
Jeanette, since you were not on the last episodes, did you have anything to say about the haunted theme park and the dumpster garbage pile episodes?
Yeah, they were good episodes. I enjoyed them. I don't want to spend too much on them though and take up the episode. But yeah, I liked them. They were good.
All right. Good,
I had a blast.
Good enough for me. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started on episode 43, Clash the Digimon King, or as we can say, surprising Digimon rap battle. So this episode centers around the kids stumbling upon a concert between Edamon, the monkey man from the first series, finally making his debut here, and Volcamon, which is like this big linebacker volcano man wearing a backwards baseball cap and apparently also has a microphone.
I like to think he's the Terminator with a volcano in his back.
Yeah, there you go. Something like that.
Yeah.
And
no, not Terminator. RoboCop with a volcano in his back.
Yeah, he does have kind of a RoboCop helmet on, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But both of them have decided that they are the king of Digimon, and they're gonna rap battle their way to determine who is in fact the king of Digimon.
Let's face it, they both are overpowered compared to all the other evil Digimon that they faced.
Yeah, a little bit. In the fact that like fucking the sound waves of them fighting fucks up all of the partner Digimon and just like makes them go crazy in like the funniest fucking ways.
Yes.
I don't know what all of your guys' like favorite freakouts was. Hands down, mine is the background joke that Gabumon just runs off. He's constantly running around in the background looking for it.
Yeah, it's so funny. The episode just flows, and you see Matt, serious, uptight, asshole Matt, just wandering around like an idiot, going, Gabumon, where are you? Gabumon?
For whatever reason, it just kills me because there's always something going on, like the other characters talking, and it's just Matt wandering off of the background looking for it.
Yes.
because Gabumon's freak out is that he took off his pelt. And it is Digimon law that no one is to know what Gabumon looks like underneath that. But yeah, so it just everybody. I mean, it goes from Agumon, who cannot stop shooting fireballs,
burning Kai's hair.
Right.
Yes.
Patamon is just overgrowing everywhere. Tentomon becomes like a street tough or something. He's just like
Izuka.
With a pair of sunglasses out of nowhere.
He becomes a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll get to
it's just a cat.
Yeah. Just a fucking cat. We'll get to the big fight at the end, but
yes.
What did you guys think about this episode?
I was laughing so hard I was nearly crying. Like, I love this episode. It was so it gave no fucks about what it was doing. It's just like, let's go for absurd and out there, and it worked. It shouldn't have worked, but it worked, and it's probably the most fun I've had watching a Digimon episode.
Yes. All of the Mimi related episodes are like on like 11. Like,
Yeah.
every episode with her, like center around her.
Oh yeah, for me, Mimi is like one of the best characters in the show, and I think we've probably said it before that she's like they've kind of updated some of the characters, for modern times. I think Mimi has gotten the best change in this show, going from like a whiny, spoiled princess to, just an upstart, takes no shit, kind of girl, which I fucking love it.
Yeah, she's definitely someone who marches to the beat of her own drum.
Hell yeah, man.
Like, she doesn't care what else you're doing. She's going to do things her way, and her way is usually a way that works.
Yeah. I just love that. This takes this picks up right after Ty and Izzy got back with their adventure with Garbage-Mon, and Izzy brought back some stuff from the dump. And I like that the Digimon and all them start digging through it, because Digimon's like, oh no, it's not trash, it's treasure. And I love that like Palmon like starts picked out some maracas and like, what are these? And so Mia just picks it up and just starts like throwing out Mexican terms or Spanish terms. And I just love. Yeah, and it was just so funny. Like Palmon was just like so enamored with this.
Yeah.
And it was just to my surprise that like that comes back as a plot point at the end. I thought it would just be a one-off joke. And something in my brain clicked when Edamon and Volcamon are fighting and Mimi comes out with the maracas, or does Palmon come out with them? Or maybe it's both of them. It's been a week since I watched this one.
I think it's Mimi.
Yeah. I just like it started to click for me. I'm like, wait a second. Is like we're doing side evolutions now. Are we seriously gonna pull out Ponchomon? Because I knew there was a fucking cactus with a sombrero and fucking maracas, and I'm like, are we literally gonna let Palmon evolve into Ponchomon? And then she fucking does, and it's the best thing ever.
It's amazing.
I didn't think about it at all. It's just surprising. I love the evolution sequence where her flowers swallow like Patamon like at the beginning of the episode, and she just spits it back out.
Yeah. Patamon just eats Patamon.
Yeah, man. She's just fucking a giant plant and everything.
I love the absurdity of just the pure chaos that descends on everyone right before. And like before Ponchomon, like everyone tries to digivolve and it doesn't make things any better.
It just makes it worse.
Yes.
Metagrammon.
Also, there's something I appreciate about Virgimon just being in the Cast in the Sky Team Rocket style.
Oh yeah.
Also, I don't know if I've said this on the show, but I think you can probably take a drinking game every time you see Metal Greymon, because I don't think there's been a single episode that's gone by he hasn't shown up.
But I just love the fact that before Greymon just couldn't breathe fire after being uncontrollable with his flame breath. And then just after evolving to Metagrammon, he shot off one attack, and Volcamon caught that missile.
Yeah.
And threw it back at him. And then poof, it's just like literally in a puff of smoke turned back to Agumon.
Yep.
I really think this episode is testament to the fact, yes, there is some part of the series you have to slog through, but if you're not watching Digimon, this is the point where it's really worth picking back up and getting back into it.
Oh yeah, for sure. This episode is just so flippin' bonkers.
Yes.
And it's just so goofy. And I love that fucking Volcamon and Edamon are ultimate level Digimon and are just like wrecking shop on everybody. But Ponchomon just like handles them like it's fucking nothing.
Ponchomon is champion, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Ponchomon is technically an armor evolution, just like Pegasusmon is. but I guess that doesn't mean anything anymore. They're just the champion level, whatever. But yeah, just because Panchomon's got the rhythm, man. This, it doesn't matter. Levels don't matter.
No. If you can't outdance Panchamon, you're not going to stand a chance in a music duel-off.
Right?
Also, I have to say, I did not have Digimon rap battle on my Digimon 2020 bingo card.
Right?
Or no. They just start rapping at each other. I'm like, are we really doing... Oh, yes, we're really doing this, and it's great.
Well, it was funny because I don't know if I said it on last week's episode. I saw the preview for this episode, and it showed Edamon and Volcamon, and I'm like, are we really going to have a Digimon fucking, like, sing-off or something like that? And it was greater than I could have possibly imagined.
It was amazing.
This felt like something that the dub team would have done.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something that it would have been taken a little more serious in the Japanese dub, but the English dub would have like made it just ridiculous or whatever. But no, like even the rap in Japanese is still fucking ridiculous because Edamon is like convinced that the king of Digimon needs to provide entertainment, but Volcamon thinks that they need to provide exercise.
Yes. And then, of course, there's like the little buddy things. I know they're like these evil buddies who are just going along with whatever. They're just having a good time.
There's just Gazamon and there's Nanamon. We've seen Nanamon before. And I love that all the Gazamon just put on a fucking Edamon suits.
Yes. I really think that this Digimon series is the best when it's leaning into the wacky hijinks that the old series was more like, rather than trying for this dark, like, battle of the week formula where it mostly focuses on these power level battles. Like, these past few episodes have just been so much more fun, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Digimon has always been best when it balances the goofiness with the serious.
Yes.
But like, I mean, it's kind of like you're saying. It's just like when Digimon is goofy, it's a good kind of goofy, especially when they're aware of how goofy they're being. So they're just like, we have these two Digimon. They're music based, in a sense. Why not just have a rap battle and we'll just have fun with it? It doesn't have to, be part of this epic plot. It's just a thing that happens, and there you go. So
Panchamon is great too.
Panchamon is like probably one of my new favorites. And like, I've known who Panchamon is for years, but like, I think I have a newfound respect for him.
I really hope Panchamon appears again. I just really, really hope.
I did. It's like, look, I like Togemon because it's just like I don't know. They stuck boxing gloves on a cactus. It's like perfect character design. But then they're like, we're gonna stick a poncho and a sombrero on a cactus and give it maracas, and I'm like, that kind of makes it better.
It does.
It does.
It's a little stereotypical, but I'm kind of here for it anyway.
I mean, it's Digimon. Stereotypes abound. That's just Digimon.
That's true.
The next best thing would be a cowboy outfit.
There is one.
Oh, there's
a Digimon that's a giant gun with a cowboy helmet.
Well, no.
Yeah, he's Deputy Mon.
I'm thinking about Cactus in the cowboy outfit.
Oh yeah, gotta get cowboy cactus. There might be one for all I know. There could be like a whole line of like cactus Digimon that I just like haven't seen. I have to look that up later. That's about all I've got for this episode. Is there anything else you guys want to say about it?
Yeah, I did like at the end that Edamon and Robocopmon, sorry, I forgot his name. They both like become fans of Panchaman, and they're trying to follow the Digidestined off into the great unknown.
Oh yeah.
And then I also like that apparently the Digidestined have a reputation for being murder hobos on this continent.
Nobody can beat them. To try
Yeah.
to fight them,
Yeah.
they get destroyed.
Word gets around, I guess.
Yeah, apparently if you're the halbringers of good and murder enough people, you get a reputation.
I just like have never thought like to consider the Digidestined as murder hobos.
Hey,
Which I mean, kind of. I mean, they're just vagrants journeying across the land on a giant dog.
mm-hmm. And this is also something touching upon the episodes that I wasn't here for the podcast episode for, but I really appreciate the return of the roots that everything is motivated by trying to find food now.
Yeah.
Every episode, they need to find food.
Also, Melanie brought something up that it seems like the only thing these kids are eating in this world is fruit. And I can't imagine that's good for their diet.
It's all data in the end. They're eating
I
ones
mean,
and zeros.
That's kind of what I'm chalking it up to, but like it hadn't really occurred to me like, yeah, they're just eating like berries and melons and shit. I think like the closest thing they had to like not fruit was that episode where they ate hamburgers.
Yes.
Probably the healthiest meal in their entire adventure.
So it's probably like vegan hamburgers or something. Like I don't know where he's getting it. Burgermon's getting his burger meat from.
It's lab grown.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now I'm imagining that Digimon rest stop having a secret like Digimon meat factory underground.
Cowmons in the basement.
Oh,
Oh god. What have we done?
You put me on the podcast.
I have no regrets.
Jeremy Snow here, owner and editor-in-chief of The Geekly Grind. I'm interrupting your awesome, regularly scheduled programming to ensure that you know about our Geekly Grind podcast network, of which this show is a treasured member of. If you haven't had a chance to check out our site, you can do so at www.thegeeklygrind.com, and while you're there, check out the other members of our steadily growing podcast family, including the anime-centric Blake and Spencer Get Jumped, discovering new heroes and comic book keepers with Chris and Lance, exploring the vast universe of geekdom with Geeksploration, or of course appreciating animation's finer details with the Ink and Paint Club. Escape your weekly grind at The Geekly Grind.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to episode 44, Hikari and the Moving Forest, aka the Battle of the Tree Kaiju.
AKA the very Ghibli-esque episode.
This is Ghibli as fuck.
Yes. It
Um,
looks really good for the most part.
yeah. So this episode is about how the kids find Petalgermon, who some of you may remember from Digimon Frontier. He is a giant wooden tree salamander, basically made out of. He is a forest and is fucking like 3 football stadiums long.
And I adore him.
He's adorable and I love him.
Yes.
He's a good boy.
That makes this episode hit so much harder in the gut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they just like they find their way onto to Petalgermon, and it turns out like this black fog of these little bug dudes are
Bug.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're just little dudes. And they're destroying the forest, which, you know, why you gotta do that? Why you gotta be a dick?
Yeah.
And apparently they are like minions of this giant tree bug monster thing.
Antmon? ENT?
Entmon, like those fucking trees in Lord of the Rings. And yeah, Petalmon and Entmon have like this big giant plant monster battle. And
a battle that is so old that it predates the holy Digimon and the evil Digimon's fight.
yeah, they're apparently like ancient beings or something, and they've been at this for a while.
Palmon is a fan.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's. I just assume Petalgermon is or Palmon's plant god or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I kind of be interested to see how Pedodramon and Entmon fit in the hierarchy of Digimon.
I see. This is kind of another thing. Like I think it's a kind of a nice world building. We just keep seeing these giant, like for lack of a better word, just kaiju size Digimon who
Mhm.
are, I would say, semi-sentient. Because I remember like the giant bee fortress dude we saw a while back. We had the turtle that had the Devimon's fortress on his back.
Mhm.
Just like all these giant Digimon who are just like almost like forces of nature. And especially now in this one, you have like these just two like literal representations of nature fighting each other. And Pedaldramon just kind of becomes friends with Kari because she's a pure soul, I guess.
Yeah.
Because she's just the fucking ray of sunshine, I guess.
She's very in touch with the motions of the world around her.
Yeah. So yeah, she forms like a fucking like Totoro bond with
Mhm.
this giant fucking kaiju. Which, okay, I don't know if either of you had the problem I did with Pedaldramon in the
I
beginning
think I know where you're going with that. Go ahead.
with the way they animated him.
Yes.
He's just like still images in pieces that they just move around on the screen rather than actually animating him.
Yeah, it felt like they're pieces of background art.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no outline around it. Like if they were consistent, I wouldn't have minded. But then later on, the outline returned as they are animated more with more detail. Well,
Yeah, it's just
more motion. Sorry, more motion, less visual detail.
I mean, they literally when they had him, they had like a close up of the side of him where he's walking. They have just a cutout of what is his leg, and they just dragged it across the screen. Like I can see the tweens.
But Digimon never cuts corners. What are you talking about?
That's true. What am I talking about?
Digimon is always immaculately edited and never has any animation issues ever.
Yeah, Digimon is just one Sakuga moment after another. And believe me, that actually took me a second to remember what the word was.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys feel about this one?
I actually, at first, I wasn't really a fan just because I'm getting tired of the baby Digimon going, "Oh no, our world is in danger," and I'm just exhausted of this plot line. I think they've done it like 5 or 6 times now. But I'll have to be honest. The end of the episode, like I cried. I had to go get out, and my cat comforted me because I was just bawling because I don't know. It really made me cry, and it's kind of embarrassing because this is a Digimon episode, and I can't even say it was like really earned it or really the best writing ever. Maybe I'm just emotional. I don't know.
I mean, it does have a very bittersweet ending.
It does.
Again, a very Ghibli-esque ending.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, fucking Pedaldramon is like gets impaled by Entmon, and through the power of Angewomon's healing light, Pedaldramon just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna sacrifice both of us, cover us both, like encase us in plant life, and we're gonna become a new forest home for all these wayward Digimon."
Mm-hmm. I actually really liked that was the direction the series went. It's like it may be reusing the plot line, but at least the way it went, I really, really liked it.
Mm-hmm. Gary, what did you think?
Yeah, same, very similar thing with how little forest Digimon needing help saving their like neighborhood more or less. It does feel a little repetitive at some point. Like if they change it up a little instead of and yet another forest dwelling group of Digimon, maybe some other setting, like maybe it's seaside or a little factory town kind of thing. This is like the third time we had the forest Digimon needing help situation.
It's funny because I hadn't really thought about it too much, but like now that you guys say it, I'm like, yeah, they've kind of pulled this storyline a few times just in this series.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I think the fact that they've reused the storyline at the same time, I was crying, but I think it kept it from really punching the way that it really just because it was just familiar beats and all that. It still punched pretty hard, but I feel like it could have been better. Like, yeah, I think it could have been better.
Yeah. But I do like with all the repeat type of forest rescue storyline, I feel like this one is the best.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I just like that it kind of puts a little more personal stake into like saving the forest because the forest is now like a living creature rather than just an area in the world. And you see this giant creature, sacrifice itself in order to protect all like the kids and the Digimon that like lived on Petalgermon. So yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you guys. If out of all of these, let's save the forest episodes, I think this is probably the better one.
I also was not expecting the Digimon to die, and then he died, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah. Wait, no one's like. We haven't had a lot of like death in this one, like good guy death in this one. In fact, I don't know. Has any? Because Leomon's still alive, as far as I remember. He's not dead yet, is he?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of death and Digimon, they didn't turn into data. It's like kind of like how the fish, the underwater episode, have that giant skeleton that they live in, and then the data beam satellite episode have the skeleton laying around. So it's just like old Digimon don't get vaporized. Is that like why some Digimon actually don't even bother fighting them because they don't get anything?
I think Digimon operate on whether their death would be aesthetically interesting or not. It's like, I could turn into Data, but I could also turn into a giant scary fish skeleton, or I could turn into a forest. I mean, that would be cool.
I really don't think the world building in Digimon is consistent, and it works. It's the anime.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It works.
It's a show about little internet monsters, and they're like, shush, it's fine. Don't think about it.
Yep. I mean, what's an anime without a few plot holes?
It wouldn't be anime if it didn't have plot holes.
Exactly.
I mean, half of anime is just like, if I scream hard enough, I'll win. The other guy may be more powerful, but I screamed louder than him, so therefore my lasers are better. Yeah. Well, that's about all I've got. What about you guys?
That's all I got too.
Did anyone watch the preview for the next episode? Because I was busy crying and I didn't. And I'm curious if either of you did.
Depends. You want a big fucking spoiler?
Yes.
Hey everybody. You know how I've been complaining that Agumon's the only one who's gotten a Megaforce bar?
Yes.
It's good. We're finally rectifying that situation.
Thank God.
And you don't even have to watch the preview to figure that out. Just read the title of the next episode. But is
it Metal Wolf time?
It is Metal Garurumon is coming up next. And what makes me interested is that if the preview is to be believed, it is going to be Metal Garurumon versus a living motorcycle.
I'm down.
Which kind of sounds kind of rad.
Yeah. So if any series can pull it off, it's this one. They can pull this off.
Yeah. Fuck, the episode after that, I think I might have an idea, but we'll wait until that episode to speculate. Well, we'll know what that is anyway. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for listening to our episode this week. Be sure to leave us your opinions on these episodes in the comments. You can find all of our social media links in the description of this episode. Digimon, it's good when it's bonkers. I think that's the takeaway from this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everybody stay safe out there, and we will all get 2 weeks where we talk about more Digimon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.